Hi, I'm Chris from Airwindows, and hey, you can do this. See if you can hear what changes. The magics turn on now. And off, on. Because this is Airwindows TexturizeMS. Now here's the deal with this. I already have a plugin called Texturize. It was originally made to do a thing kind of like, I will link to the original plugin at the end of the video. But before I do that, check this out. I'm going to show what's different about this one. Texturize lets you add a sort of funny noise type effect that deepens and enhances sound sometimes. It's meant to be subtle, but some people really like it. TexturizeMS is doing a variation on that. Where you might have the texture in the middle being more of the noise quality, or the texture in the side being more of the noise quality. So basically what this does is it lets you customize the effect of Texturize based on stereo width and the flavor of Texturize based on the kinds of sound you want coming out of the middle versus the side, your stereo width versus your central stuff. Now we can crank up Texturize all the way to show you what the raw sound is. This is what Texturize uses in order to do its thing. And I can demonstrate some of the effects. For instance, if we increase bright, it's going to give more high frequency zip to things. Low bright pretty much just gives you a bed texture that's not particularly obtrusive. It's not going to make a sound that sounds like noise to your ears around things, but it's filling in part of your sound. Let's go to 50%. And what we have here is the track Touring Patrol off of my album Welcome to Free Luna, and I've added the plugin Galactic to give me an enormous reverb sound around it so that I could have more stereo stuff, because this is an electronic music track. A lot of it is coming out of mono. Now, the deal with the way that Texturize works is we can sculpt the kind of noise sound that's being used to fill in and complicate the noise we've got. Like, let's shut Galactic off completely. Check this out. Here we have raw Touring Patrol, and we're going to do brighter, or average brightness, and we can do more punchy, or less punchy. We can do less punchy and bright. And this is based on this track. So when we start adding Texturize to, say, the side, we're getting a slight enhancement of the texture on just stereo content. Or we can fill in the enhanced sound on the mid content, the mono content. And again, we can shut it off, and let's set it to maximally punchy on everything as well. You push it far enough, you can hear it working, especially in something with very clean synthetic sounds like this. But then if we throw the reverb back in there again, it becomes a lot harder to pick out. But you can hear the change in the shape of the environment this is creating. Turn it off. And then let's turn it back on. So this works real nice on reverbs, but you can also turn the reverb right off. Actually, we've got it very loud when we do that. That was because that was adjusting for the padding of the reverb. And then we can neutralize these things and do stuff like, let's have more brightness to the cymbals, a little more punch on that initial sound there. And let's pump up the gain more than we've got. Now we'll turn the effect off again. And here it sounds basically the same, but then let's turn it back on. So that is TexturizeMS. MS, of course, stands for mid-side. That's how it does its processing. I think that's a useful enhancement on what Texturize already is. Again, I'm going to link you to the video for Texturize at the end of this video. And by the way, you should subscribe to this channel. It helps me even if you're not on my Patreon, and it helps you because the videos that I make show you new stuff that you can have, such as this. Granted, this is a obscure little toy. Like, there are a lot of things that I can make that are more obvious than this. This just happens to be, like, as you can see, my life is kind of chaos at the moment. I've got a lot of things, a lot of balls in the air. Wish me luck. I'm still looking forward to hearing what came out of those x-rays. And if I am more coffee and phlegmy making these videos going forwards, then that will be the reason why. But I will do my best to take care of myself. And I'm looking to build up enthusiasm for this stuff that I'm doing, because the reason there are so many balls in the air and I'm cranking away all day, every day, and still only able to put out like Texturize with a track off of the album that I put out. And that's because the things I'm attempting are very substantial. And I hope that I can show more, but I have a plugin for you, and it is the update to Texturize that gives you a lot more control over how you adjust the shape of your space using this effect. I also know there are people asking for an update to Console 8 that's even larger, and they want 2 layers of intermediary buses. I can probably do that. And I'll probably be calling that Console 9 because it's ridiculous enough to be more so. I can't promise that I'll be using that, but I know people are asking for additional layers of buses. And okay, if that's how you work, I can probably come up with a dedicated version of Console that will cover that base. But for the time being, hey, I hope you like my other videos, and thank you. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.